Right, guys, let's have the first poll over here. And this poll is, if you can see the presentation would have a photo of Baltic Exchange trading floor. And where did you hear about the webinar from? So during the presentation, we will have a few more polls coming in. Some just to check your knowledge, some to know what's your understanding, what's your motivation. And so then accordingly, we will, make the presentation more relevant to all of you. Okay, I encourage most of you to vote, please, to answer on the poll. I've got about 85% who have voted. Encourage more people to vote. Right, guys. I guess we've got about 93% of you who have voted, and we have at least probably 40% of the people who joined in. And let's start the webinar now. Good afternoon, good day, everyone. I'm Captain Gaurav Rana. I run Sea and Beyond, and welcome all of you to this panel discussion. We've got people all around the world who've joined in. And from Sea and Beyond, I've got Captain Vineet with me. And along with Captain Vineet, I've got Smita and Reeti who have joined in. And from the presenters, we've got Captain Ashok, who's joined in from Singapore. We'll have Krishnan sir joining in from Dubai. And we'll have Captain Nilesh. Captain Nilesh has joined in. He's from Mumbai. And Dr. Abhay would joining from the Gujarat Maritime University. So welcome all of you to this panel discussion on the commercial shipping. If we move to the next slide, please, Vineet. Right. Why are we doing this webinar? Essentially, a lot of time, I'm sure in all of your mind, it would have come. You would have thought, what is commercial shipping? What does it mean? How do we enter into this? What are the avenues? What is the scope in India? I think everyone would have thought about it. So through this webinar, what we intend to do is to enhance your awareness and your awareness through people who are very senior from the industry, so that you can have information from credible people. You are able to relate to the information, it's relevant to you, and finally the end goal of CN Beyond is helping you take well-informed decision. So that's essentially what our focus is. As I requested earlier also, I'll request all of you to please rename yourself to your name, not a Samsung, iPhone, OnePlus user, admin, those names. Please rename. It's very easy. Go on the right side, double click on and you'll see a button of rename, and so you can rename yourself. If you have any question, there is likelihood that will be answered on the next 45 minutes during the PPT, but you may write it down in the chat window if you feel that it's not getting answered, but do not speak up. Keep yourself on mute. We will communicate mostly through chats, but at the end of the webinar, if you have a burning question and if you really want to speak up, we'll of course love to hear from you as well. Move to the next slide, please. Right. While I introduce our esteemed panelists, let me also check for an introduction from the people who have joined the webinar. So there will be a poll in front of your screen. So please answer that poll. And it takes me immense pleasure to introduce today's panelists. We've got Krishnan sir. Krishnan sir is the International Vice Chairman of Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers. So please bear in mind, it's not about one geography. So under Krishnan sir, it'll be the entire ICS, and he's probably he's the first person from an Indian origin to be at that position, and he's going to become the chairman in the next month or so of ICS UK worldwide. He's also the chief learning officer at Transworld Group. We've got Captain Ashok Sharma. Captain Ashok Sharma is the managing director of JM Bakshi Far East Singapore. He's, of course, been a master mariner and been in commercial shipping for many years. He's been leading the company. He leads the P&L. He's a board member. So good to have Captain Sharma here. We've got Captain Nilesh. Captain Nilesh is a master mariner and he joined Scorpio, and he's one of the few persons who've successfully done a lateral transition as well. So he was into learning and development earlier in Scorpio, and now he's the senior manager in the post-fix claims team in Scorpio. We'll have Dr. Abhay Singh Thakur as well. He's from Gujarat Maritime University. He's the assistant professor for the School of Maritime Law, Policy and Administration. He's also a board member in the GMU, and under his leadership, we collaborated for the GMU for this commercial shipping course as well. So it's good to have all of you taking this poll, and let me just end the poll and share the results, which gives us an overview of the audience. So we've got 51% of the audience who are mariners working at management level, 31% mariners working at mid-management support, 8% non-mariners at mid-management support, 3% mariners at management level, and 7% are students who joined the webinar. Welcome all of you. I know you've joining this webinar, taking out your personal time, and to many, their siesta time, especially on over a weekend. So thank you so much, and I'm sure this time will be worth your while. We move to the next slide, please. Right. So during this webinar, we're going to talk about an overview of commercial shipping. So what does it actually mean? Most of us were sailing, we may or may not understand what does that mean. We'll also going to talk about how the industry evolution has taken place in terms of how probably the jobs were mostly in Western Europe and how that's changing. What are the activities which are happening in India? What are the current challenges that companies are facing? What are the challenges that job seekers face, and what is the advice to them? And what are the changes happening in the commercial shipping? So that's essentially what we are going to cover in this webinar. To the next one, please. Right. So let me take a poll before I hand over to Captain Ashok. So 1 second. Okay. You would have the poll question in front of your screen. What fascinates you most in the commercial shipping? Why are you here in the webinar? Because I'm sure you would have heard, listened, fascinated about commercial shipping, what it means. So what is it that really motivates you? Let's hear from.
Gaurav, you're gone on mute.
Yeah, I was not speaking. I was just waiting for the poll answers to be for the participants to just vote. Right, guys, it'll wait for another 5 seconds before I close the poll. It's a very good participation. I see about 90% of you have voted. The last 2 seconds, and I've ended the poll and sharing results. So overwhelming 69% of us feel that commercial professionals have comparatively more power, and that's what motivates, fascinates us. 17%, money is a big motivating factor, and rightly so. Why not? So money is there to be made. Then comes people don't know about it and they would like to know more. And a lot of your friends are in commercial shipping, and that's why you want to be there. So fair enough, guys. Thanks for the answers on the poll. And it's time I now hand over the platform to Captain Ashok. So Captain Ashok will give us an overview of commercial shipping, what it does actually mean. So over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, gent. Good morning, wherever you are, whatever time zone you're in. So good afternoon, and I guess good morning and good afternoon. Okay. My introduction you already have. I run a shipbroking company. It's a part of JM Bakshi Group. Been in Singapore for about 16 years now, and we are tanker brokers, oil tanker brokers. But what I am going to discuss, or what the brief overview I'm giving you, applies to probably every segment of every vertical of commercial shipping, or every vertical of the ship types, whether it's containers or whether it's bulk carriers or tankers or chemical or gas or whatever. So this is the basic framework. This is the basic skeletal framework around which all commercial organizations are structured. Now, we have to understand that a merchant ship is built to make money. It's a business enterprise. So commercial shipping is about enabling or managing the the revenue earning streams of a commercial shipping enterprise. So merchant ships are a business enterprise in which revenues are generated by renting out the space on a ship in return for a remuneration which is termed freight. Remember, the bulk of a ship, which a commercial ship, is the way it's constructed is space. You've got your cargo space by far is much greater than your accommodation space, your ballast space, your engine room space, your pump room space. So a pump room space is actually a commercial space, but it's not an earning space. But the freight earning space is what a ship is actually built for, and that space is leased out. The activity of or the procedure of leasing out that space is broadly in our world today is called chartering. It's actually and the return you get for chartering that space out is termed freight. So you have a space, you charter the space out, and as a return for chartering the space out, you're paid a remuneration which is called freight. So freight is normally in dollars, and the space is in. It depends on what kind of ship you are looking at. Whether it's a gas tanker, then it's in cubic meters. If it's a container ship, then it's in TEU equivalent. And if it's and most other ships, it is dead weight. It's metric tons. Most of the time, in a large majority of cases, freight is paid in dollars per metric ton. So whether it's a gas tanker or whether it is an oil tanker, or whether it's a bulk carrier, or whether it's a general cargo ship or a wood chip carrier, or it is then the freight is paid in terms of dollar per ton of dead weight of cargo that you carry. And Containers are slightly different. Containers, the freight is paid on a TEU basis. Each container you carry, the freight is paid per container. So broadly, this is across the entire spectrum of merchant ship types and sizes. So all ships are built to lease the space out. A very expensive. It's a very expensive project. And today, for instance, my favorite example is always a VLCC, a very large crude carrier, which costs about $117 million new building. It carries about anywhere between 260 and 260,000 and 300,000 tons of cargo. So, and today the freights are through the roof. So you can imagine the kind of, so like the average freight today between between loading a cargo from, say, the Arabian Gulf to China is $5 to $6 million, depending on the amount of cargo you carry. It's maybe about $25, $30 a ton. So basically, this is an understanding of what commercial, what is the commercial aspect of ship owning. You lease the space out, you earn freight. When a ship is in operation, now freight is the only revenue stream available to the owner. That's what makes commercial shipping so important. How are you going to pay for the ship? How are you going to pay the interest? How are you going to pay the port charges? How are you going to pay the canal dues? How are you going to pay the principal? It is only through the freight. So the freight market is a very important aspect in ordering of ships and the price of ships. So you can see that today a VLCC costs $117 million. I can tell you, in 2016, VLCCs were sold for $75 million. So you can, if you just go back and you look at the historical aspect, go on to Google, see what was the freight for a VLCC from AG to China in 2016, and compare what is the freight now. You'll find the difference is almost maybe 2 or 3 times, maybe 4 times. So that's why the price of a VLCC has gone up today as well. There are other reasons, but we won't go into it. There's geopolitics, there's shipyard space, a lot of stuff involved. The ship will generate additional revenue when it is sold, but only when a ship is the end of its either end of its ownership with a particular owner or at the end of its life. When a ship is sold or scrapped, then additional revenue is generated. When it is sold to another owner, then it is a resale value that generates revenue. And when it is scrapped, we call it is the demolition value, or the residual value of a ship is realized. So basically, there are only 2 ways you can earn revenue from a ship. One is by freight, and one is either by selling it or scrapping. And all these aspects come under all these aspects, whether it is freight or whether it is selling or whether it is scrapping. All these aspects are basically under the umbrella of commercial shipping. The commercial aspect of a ship broadly entails with dealing with the revenue earning activity. That is freight and but a ship is not sold every day, right? A ship is either bought once and sold once with a particular owner. So it's not a very, it's not a buying and selling is not a process for one particular ship where the owner is involved all the time. All the owners are buying and selling ships all the time. There's a famous saying that most owners, long-time owners will tell you, every ship in my fleet is for sale, provided the price is right. But ships don't get bought and sold that frequently. It is a very frequent activity, but in a particular fleet, it is not that frequent. So the major activity dealing with commercial shipping in a particular for a particular ship is earning of freight. Yeah, next slide, please. Okay, who are these people who participate in the freight market in this nebulous cloud? That especially when you're sailing, the commercial aspect of shipping is one big cloud, because it's an opaque cloud, because nobody in the company ever tells even the captain what freight the ship is earning for a particular voyage. They always tell him about the costs. This repair costs that much, this spare costs that much, and canal, we don't want a pilot for you because the pilot costs that much. But nobody's ever going to turn around and tell you how much the ship is actually earning. I don't know why. it's something that the captain of the ship really should be very closely connected with, because a small decision of the captain of the ship can result in earnings or a loss of hundreds of thousands of dollars. Let me give you an example. A ship today, let's say, okay, let's keep my favorite segment of shipping is very large crude carriers. Today, a very large crude carrier is earning $100,000 a day. Okay, so that means is earning roughly four to four and a half thousand dollars an hour. If a captain, for instance, fails to give NOR, notice of readiness, for those of you who don't understand, pardon me, but for those of you who do understand, who fails to give notice of arrival of a ship at a particular time, if he gives it 3 hours late, he's lost the company almost as much as 1 month's salary for himself. So, but the captain has no idea what the demurrage rate, what the earning of a ship is, or what the demurrage rate is, what the lay time is. Very little. I don't know how it is now. In my time, we just used to get a recap of the. We just used to get voyage orders. We never used to get a fixture note. So, and the voyage orders never told us what is the lay time, what is the demurrage rate, what is it. Nobody ever told us what is the time charter earning of a ship, whatever. But I can tell you, I'm trying to re-emphasize on you guys. I'm trying to emphasize how important the commercial aspect of shipping is. So charterers are the persons who control, basically broadly to understand, charterers are owners or controllers of the cargo transportation. Very often they are the owner of the cargo as well. So a charterer will normally own the cargo, and the transportation of the cargo will be dealt with by the chartering department of the charterer's office. Owners, broadly an entity that has an effective ownership control of the ship. There are various kinds of ownerships, which we will discuss when you guys sign up for the course. But broadly, owners are the persons who have commercial control over the ship at any given time. Brokers are the middlemen between the charterers and owners who help in finding employment for the ship. So it is the brokers who talk to both the charterers and owners, and they negotiate the terms of the contract, which finally the charterers and owners agree to, and then they draw up what is called a charter party agreement. They play a crucial role in price discovery, because owners are charterers typically, brokers typically speak to a lot of charterers, a lot of owners. They keep their eye on what's happening in the market. They speak to traders. They speak to a lot of people. They speak to research. They have their own research desks, and very often and the market is determined, or the market is described by a broker's report. So a broker's report in the morning is a very important document which actually reflects the condition or the state of the market on any particular day. And whether it's a charterer or an owner, they will always call up and look at several reports to establish what is the level of freight today, what's happening in the market, how many ships got fixed, how many cargoes have been quoted, what was the last done in a particular voyage, whether it's VLCC, Aframax, Suezmax, containers, bulk carriers, gas carriers. We have broker reports every day in the morning for all of them. At least, and if they're not widely circulated, then the brokers give it to their charterers and owners. The charterers and owners are also called principals, because they own the assets. Next one. So the main employment opportunities ashore in commercial shipping, I told the persons who are actively involved in leasing out the space of the ship, whether in the charterer's office or the owner's office, they are the chartering executives or the brokers. So you have brokers in the owner's office, in the charterer's office, as well in shipbroking outfits. So they are market-facing personnel. Essentially, they speak to each other. They are market-facing personnel in owners and charterers' offices. They interact with brokers and are involved in day-to-day chartering activities. This could also be they could also be sometimes called brokers. Greeks typically call the chartering executives in their offices or in their companies. They call them brokers. Well, they're not really called brokers, but they're sometimes referred to as brokers. They actually, yeah, so they have a chartering executive role in the owner's office or the charter's office. The operations executives are personnel who assist the chartering executives in owners and charterers' offices. These people in providing information and liaising with the ship when negotiating a contract. So the operations comes in right from the time the contract is being negotiated to the time the contract is finalized. And once the contract is finalized, the operations executives monitor the execution of the voyage in accordance with the terms and conditions of the contract, which is also called the charter party agreement. So, and you have these operations executives again. You have them in the charterer's office, you have the owner's office, and you have them in the broker's outfits too. There are claims executives, personnel who follow up on payments that ensue on completion of the voyage, including demurrage, insurance claim, miscellaneous costs. This activity, starts mainly once the voyage is over. Unless the charter party agreement has a clause which says that while the voyage is continuing, the owner is entitled to make a particular claim for a particular cost. Very often it happens. Like there is something called on-account demurrage. So if a ship, even though she's on the voyage, say she's waiting to load or waiting to discharge, you have a clause called on-account demurrage. So as the demurrage is the penalty for keeping the ship from performing its voyage for any reason. Loading, whether it's detained at mid-sea or are just asked to drift, or whether it is waiting to load or waiting to discharge. So any detention can result in demurrage being payable, and that demurrage is normally followed up by claims executives. Every entity in the industry, including broking houses, require the above mentioned job functions. Next. So a chartering executive broker, he has, like I told you, he's market facing. He needs to have a forward view. He needs to a forward view where the market is going, why the market is doing what it's doing right now, why is it going up, why is it going down, why is it stagnating. He needs to have an analytical mind. He needs to have a needs to have a world view about his segment. He needs to have social skills because this is a very people-oriented business. People do business only with people they're comfortable with. And so social skills are very important. Determination to succeed, because very often, I mean, even if a ship owner, he sees 10 cargoes in a day, he'll probably fix only one. Similarly, a chartering executive might look at 10 different ships. In a charter's office, may fix only one ship after looking at 10 different ships. And the brokers especially, they may have to negotiate 100 cargoes and they probably fix only 5 or 6 of them. So you need to have a determination to succeed, ability to build a network, and source market information. Networking is very important because remember, this is a people-oriented business. The chartering market in any segment exists only in the minds of the participants. It doesn't exist anywhere else. There is no screen. There is no floor, trading floor, like in the old days you used to have Baltic Exchange. It exists only in the minds of the people sitting in front of the computer screens and with the phones on their side. That's it. So that's why networking is very important, because you have to understand what is the mindset of the different players involved, where they think the market is going, where they think the market is coming from, what is their forward-looking view of the market, where the demand will come from, where the supply will come from, stuff, things like that. They need to have excellent negotiating skills, which calls for an articulate personality and an in-depth knowledge of charter party clauses. You should know the charter party that you're executing, that you're negotiating. There's no excuse not to know that, because just the ignorance is no excuse under law. So just because you didn't know a charter party clause, or you didn't understand it, or didn't even know that it existed, if a claim or some kind of if there's some kind of consequence from ignoring or breaching of that clause, you're not going to be forgiven because you didn't know. So you need to have a thorough knowledge of your charter party clauses. Operations as an in-depth knowledge of the relevant segment. Excellent communication skills, because you're talking to operations people in the other office, owner's office, charter's office, broker's office, depending on where you're placed. And expert knowledge, again, you need to have very good knowledge of the charter party contract, because you're involved in negotiating the contract. You will be involved in interpreting the contract. You will be involved in drawing up voyage orders. You will be involved in disputes that occur as far as following voyage orders are concerned, or even or even while interpreting, or even while if the suppose the charter issues a wrong voyage order, or the master of the ship or the ship doesn't follow a voyage order as per the charter party. So you have to have a very good, you have to have a 3D holistic view of the charter party clause. Claims need to be very organized, because remember, a voyage, if a voyage takes 30 days, claims could take a year to settle. So you'll have claims that pile up. In a year, you might have 20, 30, 40, 50 open files, depending on how busy you are. So you need to be extremely organized, and you have to have like a filing cabinet for a brain. You need to know what needs to be done when, and what is outstanding, what is a problematic dispute, what is a claim, where the disputes could arise from. It's a crucial function, as I said, the crucial function, because claims, because claims far outlive the duration of the voyage itself. And next one. Okay, Gaurav, I think I'm going to have to run. Thanks a lot. All the best, guys. Hope to see you in the regular course.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thanks for your inputs. And Captain Sharma is going to take class on brokers. Basically, what are the skills required to become a broker? What is the role that the person plays? And also, he's going to take class on the sanctions within the commercial industry, within the shipping industry. So, one of the best classes, one of the best rated teachers, of course, needless to say. And thank you so much for your time, sir. And we look forward to hosting you again during the course.
All right. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you. This stage, I'll take a poll, and there are two questions in the poll. Where are the most commercial shipping activities happening in the world? Is it Europe, Middle East, Southeast Asia, Far East? So that is the first part of the question. And second is, where are these activities increasing the most? Let us know your views. Vineet, you may stop sharing, and Krishnan sir is there with us, and Krishnan sir may share so you may share your presentation. I've already introduced Krishnan sir. Krishnan sir has been in commercial shipping for long. He's worked in India, he's worked in Singapore, Dubai. He's the international vice chairman of Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers and the chief learning officer of Transworld Academy. Welcome, sir, to this panel discussion, and you may share your screen whenever you're ready, sir.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much, Captain Gaurav, and all present here. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
Thank you very much.
Last 5 seconds before I close the poll. So those of you who would like to punch in your votes, please do so. Okay, I've ended the poll and sharing results. So I think it's a tie between Southeast Asia and Middle East, where most of the commercial shipping activity is happening in the world. Definitely, it's not Europe and not Far East. And where it's increasing the most, overwhelming favorite is India, Asia, followed by Far East, Indian Ocean, and South Atlantic. So here you go, sir. If you could take us through how the evolution is happening in the commercial shipping nowadays, please.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir, it is.
Yeah, thank you very much. Great. Good to see a overwhelming response here, and that shows the importance of this particular field today, which I would say that every day is a new day. Every day is a day of learning. Every day there's a day of opportunity. Myself, Captain Gaurav and team, Captain Vineet, all of us were at the India Maritime Week, which concluded last week. And just a quick question: how many of you had the opportunity to be there to visit the India Maritime Week? How can they respond, Captain? Can they just put in the chat box?
Yeah, I think that'll be better if you just put yes in the chat box.
Yes. Yeah. So that's fantastic. You know, many of you have visited. Sometimes we being in the industry, we see that yes, sometimes it's an overkill in terms of the number of events, the number of exhibitions, the conferences. But as Captain rightly told in the previous session, that this is a people business. You may have a company's name to back you, a brand name there, but ultimately shipping is a person to person business. I would say most businesses are like that, right? However, in our case, in the commercial shipping business, you have to know people, you have to know the market. So as much as you get opportunities to be in these kind of events, whether it's a conference, an exhibition, please utilize those opportunities because that's extremely vital, not only to get your foot on the door in terms of getting new career opportunities, but even after that, when you're in the business, it's extremely important to be there, to show up, to be there in front of people. As much as we do online meetings, online classes, online sessions like these, it's extremely important to be there physically. If there are any burning questions, please feel free, keep putting it in the chat box so that we will address it. I'll just talk about 10 minutes and then I would really like to address more of the queries and questions from all of you. So a quick recap in terms of ship cycle. You would have seen this, heard about this, studied about this. So starting from, say, the planning. So if you're talking about a new build, you start from, say, planning for that. You've got the naval architect. You normally look at previous designs. I'm involved a little bit in the on the shipbuilding side of things now, along with the Learning Academy at Transworld. They're looking at a couple of new projects on shipbuilding. So yeah, there's a whole lot of interest which has been developed there. You may wonder where can we fit in as commercial people. So there's a whole lot of aspects on the commercial side which needs to be plugged in along with ship design and naval architects before you can decide on the design of the ship. So if you have previous designs or something like a sister ship, the design is already there. There's already a preference because there's already an experience there. Or if it's a new technology, especially in today's scenario of dual fuel vessels, new fuels which are being tested out, there's a whole lot of reskilling and upskilling which is required there, which all of you would go through, in your career cycle. And then comes the actual ordering of the ship, where again a ship broker may or may not be involved in a new building. The types of shipyards. So there's a whole lot of development again, which is happening, especially in India. I will talk a little bit about the India market at the end. And then, of course, you talk about the OEMs, the original equipment manufacturers, classification society, and then financing for the whole new build kicks in. And when the actual building happens, you've got the contract, the equipment purchases, certification, and then, of course, the whole process happens. And as you would have seen that, especially you would have seen how construction of buildings have become much faster today, right? Earlier, it used to be right from foundation up to the topmost floor is done on site in terms of whatever is done, the foundation plus the concreting, etc., the pillars, the columns. Similar thing was happening in shipbuilding earlier, but today shipbuilding, the time for rolling out a ship as the launching a ship has come down drastically from the previous, say, 3 years to, say, 24 months or 18 months in certain cases. Primarily because this also has become an assembly line rather than just a keel to mast complete building in one place. So interesting things you can watch. There's enough videos available, free videos available on YouTube. Very interesting to see how this technology has evolved. So our focus, in terms of commercial shipping is in the whole operation part of it, right? From flagging up the ship, you've got the regulations, then you've got the insurance, whether it is H&M, the hull and machinery, or P&I, and then ship management. That itself is a huge segment. And within that, you have technical management. Under that, crewing is a different or a specialized segment now. Maintenance and repairs under technical management, marine fuels, bunkering. It's highly evolving field. I was at the event known as the Captain's Table in Dubai yesterday. I'm based in Dubai. It's similar to the one which used to happen in Hong Kong. So yesterday they did the first edition in Dubai. I mean, it is amazing to see the kind of innovations which are being tabled. I think we had about 6 of them who showcased their innovation, and the prize winner was a person from Cyprus who has designed a bunker monitoring box, which can be connected. I just remember it when I saw the mention of bunker here. So it's endless in terms of what you can do in the commercial space. Then of course you've got the surveys, whether it's cargo ship surveys, ship chandlers who supply the materials to the ship or the supplies to the ship, and then you've got the big ones, the big segment, which is where the deep dive will come in these courses about charterers, brokers, and then of course the traders, who are the lifeline or the ones who are initiating this whole process of shipping. And then, of course, last but not the least, what happens to these ships at the end of their life cycle of 25, 30, 35 years? So there again, if you have heard about the Hong Kong Convention, which is just kicked in this year, in terms of ensuring or even making the ship owner or all the people in this particular chain responsible and accountable to ensure that the recycling is also done in a green manner, right? So there's a whole lot of evolution which has happened. If you have not visited any ship recycling yard, I would suggest. I got the opportunity to visit some early this year. It's a fantastic industry, and to study what happens to the ship in terms of and today it's about complete recycling and repurposing, where each and every component from the ship is recycled and put to a different use. A little bit about infrastructure. So again, you have to look at these segments differently, the different shipping markets. So you've got say broadly, you can say the liner market, where you've got containers, ro-ros, break bulk, 3 major liner divisions. And then, of course, the tramp or the chartering market, where you've got liquid bulk and dry bulk. And liquid itself, you can segregate into crude, CPP, DPP, chemicals, gas. Within gas, you've got, say, LPG and LNG as the 2 primary segments. So some of you may be already specialized in different or one of these segments which are there, and you may want to enter into the commercial role in that particular segment, which of course is a good thing because you already have a background in terms of, they have been sailing on the deck side, on the engine side, you already have a background there. And there's no sacrosanct rule in terms of which market is good or bad. All markets go through their cycles, right? But that's the container. So one other thing I would strongly recommend is that whichever segment you're going to be in, please be aware of what is happening in the market. Get a summary of these market reports, which are available. Many of them are freely available, though there could be a bit of time lag from an academic point of view. Those are good enough. The free reports, you should know what's happening in each of these segments, right? Whether it's a container, dry bulk, liquid bulk, and within dry and liquid, which are the different cargo segments and how they work. So infrastructure requirements for these segments are totally different. So in containers, you've got the port and terminals. This again is a major area of expansion which is happening. If those who have visited the IMW or listening to the news, reading the news, you would have seen this already. The extent of infrastructure investment which is coming in India is huge, which means that we need people on the commercial side to manage these things, whether it is port and terminals. As part of the ICS and the Transport Academy, I'm involved in now developing curriculum in port and terminal management and plugging that into schools and colleges. So that's the extent of demand gap or the supply gap which is there, and to have skilled people in port and terminal management, right? So then, of course, the entire supply chain of container shipping, it involves warehousing, you've got the CFS, you've got the rail, the road, etc. Dry cargo, on the other hand, different kind of infrastructure. So when we talk about port and terminals, you find that, yes, the port infrastructure is something which most of the states take care of. But when you talk about terminals, you would have container terminals, you would have dry bulk terminals, and you would have liquid bulk terminals and all the associated facilities. Liquid bulk also can be offshore with SBMs and SPMs. And then, of course, primarily you would have tank farms, an oil berth, or even many times wherever it is permitted, you would have double banking, which happens with respect to liquid cargo operations. A quick thing about the Middle East market. I've been in this part of the world for close to 30 years now. Highly developed market and a developing market in various aspects. So when I talk about port and terminals, you should also look at the kind of infrastructure investment which is happening in the Middle East. It's huge. You may say that, yes, it may be saturated, those who have been visiting this area, whenever you have port calls here, but you would see that the extent of additional investment which is coming in, whether it is in UAE or the different new ports or existing port expansions. You've got Saudi, you've got Qatar, there is Duqm in Oman. There's a huge investment coming up there. So it's huge in terms of the development which is happening in the Middle East. Of course, you've got the oil producers, the primary industry being related to oil and gas, and LNG. Of course, you've got Qatar, you've got Iran, Oman, which has got the LNG production, which continues, and there's new production, additional production which is coming up. A lot of secondary manufacturing units have come up in the last so many years. Right from the initial wave of refineries, oil refineries, to petrochemical plants, and then to aluminum production, etc. Because you have to understand that Middle East has much more than pure economic. There is a socio-economic factor which comes in, where there is a need to create jobs, and therefore the only way is to get into manufacturing. Even though it is a very clear indication that movement or shipping of raw materials is cheaper than shipping finished goods in any kind of an industry, you would still find that Middle East production of finished goods has gone up because of socio-economic factors. It's not pure economics which comes into play here. There's a lot of mining industries which has come up. There's a lot of raw materials available in the region, including bauxite and other minerals. Service industry. So you can imagine, whenever there's manufacturing and there is shipping, there's a whole lot of service industry. Development of free zones, seaports, airports, and you'll find that the extent of emphasis and support, which especially in the UAE, which is being given to high tech, especially in logistics, is huge. A lot of investments coming there as well. Added to that, shipbuilding and repair. There's a new yard which has just been announced a couple of months back in Saudi Arabia. So, so you can see that how serious the Middle East is about completely having the infrastructure, right from shipbuilding to ship repairs, to handle everything here. Then, of course, all this brings additional people. So there's commercial and residential infrastructure. So that's a continuous feedback mechanism, which means that you have got more things to be more logistics, more people, and that's how Dubai or UAE, the population is already crossing 10 million, and the whole the master plan, if you really see, especially of Dubai, where the population already has crossed 4 million, the master plan is that they want to double it to 8 million, the population in by 2030, in 5 years. So that's a huge step. That's why there's a whole lot of activity which continues, especially in Dubai. Etihad Rail is a new infrastructure, which is primarily, okay, the UAE rail network, but it is connected to Oman on one side, Saudi Arabia on the other side. A complete game changer, expected to commission by January, by moving cargo as well as passengers. That's a quick overview on Middle East. And then, of course, India market as a summary, I would say that I've got manufacturing services, free zones, seaport, airport, shipbuilding and repairs, and oil and gas chemicals. In terms of if you look at the infrastructure which is coming up there, with new plants which are going to take a lot of ethane, which is coming from the US. Reliance was the first one to start consumption of the ethane from the US about 5 years back, where they ordered 6 VLECs, specialized carriers for ethane. ONGC has ordered 2 new ones, so this is a market to watch out for. There's more gas exports from the US, and India is buying a lot of gas, whether it is LNG or ethane or LPG, from the Americas market as well. And the secondary level of chemical manufacturing is also increasing because India's consumption. So this is a key area to always keep in mind when you look at market reports. The biggest driving factor is the domestic consumption in India, and therefore the extent of chemicals, petrochemicals which are required is huge. That's where you'll find a whole lot of activity happening in chemicals manufacturing in India. So that's a quick rundown. I know I went a bit fast, but I would leave it to you to digest this. I will share these slides just as pointers, but happy to take any questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. That's very enlightening. So you told us about the different facilities, infrastructure, cargoes, and how at least the two major, most fastest growing markets all around the world, their ecosystem, and what all they provide. So thank you so much for giving that overview. And so we'll take the questions probably at the end, sir, if that's okay. So we'll have Captain Nilesh and Dr. Abhay also presenting, and then we'll take it in the end. But before I call Captain Nilesh, I have Hoshank with us. So Hoshank joined us in the first batch of commercial shipping course. He's a chief officer. He was working in VDR analysis space. And then he moved to Ashore into the commercial space after the course. He's working in Kargil right now. So maybe we'll just hear from Hoshank on his journey and about commercial shipping, and then I'll invite Captain Nilesh to talk about the challenges in the commercial shipping in India. So over to you, Hoshank.
Thank you, Captain Gaurav, for having me here. Pleasure to always have Krishnan sir hearing about all the market insights. Thank you, Krishnan sir. Uh, and about myself, I was sailing before this. Previously, I was doing media audits and trying to shift Ashore, but and trying to get into commercial shipping, and I had no clue how to get into it because there was a lot of challenges generally we face because we don't know the whole structure how these things work. So when I saw CNB on ad on the commercial shipping, I got curious. I already knew Captain Rana from previous conversation. I shifted Ashore, so that time also I had a word with him earlier. So he guided me that this course is actually will give you a good overview of how things work, and you will be able to get a better opportunities in respect to exploration of jobs and all. You will be able to know basically if the main challenge if you come across what you come across is you don't even know where to explore. That's the main problem which we get. Uh, Everything comes later, knowledge, everything comes later. You don't know where to apply, then no point of having all the research and background. So that time we had great conversation. Great. Actually, we in the course we actually had the people from the commercial shipping itself who were teaching us most of the thing, and at the end of the course we also have a pleasure to in the initial course we had a pleasure to go to the office of Cargill itself. We had a chance to go to our Cargill office, and there then where we get to know that how office looks like. We were we didn't even know how commercial shipping office looks like and how things works over there. There we had conversation with all the team. Generally in Cargill here, it's post pictures, most of the things which are happening in operations part. So that's where I get crux of it, that how things are working over here, and then I develop more interest into it. Then I joined advanced course over there. After that, I joined Avocado, and then we had a live session in GMU. That time we went to GMU University in Ahmedabad, and we had a great session over there. We had uh, Cargill coming over there, also discussing all kind of things they expect from person who them taking, which really helped me in my uh, placement into the Cargill. And that's what we had called the, when you know what they are expecting, it's a little easy for you to prepare and get the things of it. And right now I'm working. It's already 8 months into Cargill, and right till so far so good. Everything is working fine. Even I got a chance to meet the leadership last month. James and Joe, they are commercial leads from Geneva. They had visit, and I was able to had one-on-one conversation with them, which was great. So I think this course will give you a very good picture uh, how to go about this commercial shipping thing. Package, uh, it's a very challenging thing to say. You see, initially you don't focus on package. Initially, you get focus on entering the sector. Once you enter the sector, you will obviously you have to run the show also. I'm not saying you just leave the package aside, but yes, package is not that great that the same thing you are getting on vessels, but it is okay. You can still manage your day-to-day life with it with ease, without any issue. But yes, you have to take a hit initially. Always, anywhere you shift from sea to shore, you have to take a hit, even if not commercial. If you go to QHSE or any other part of it, you have to take that hit. Uh, my role, I am currently working in a vessel operator, uh, basically post picture operations. More than pilot salary, uh, more or less same as pilot salary, I'll say, more or less. With my current load, basically, once the vessel is fixed for a voyage, then it is given to us to run. So we start with the initial messages to owners, owners, vessels, and then charters, and then we uh, put all the points together and make the ship vessel to load, discharge, load, and complete the void discharge with all the CP requirements. How many vessels have handled in 8 months? Average, I would say we have 12 to 14 vessels every month. So initially, they don't give you initially too much of vessels, but yes, if I tell you frankly, at least 40, 45 ish somewhere, less close to 50, I'll say close to 50. That's is AI will take up the job in future. Uh, Good question, but I don't think it's very close where we see AI taking this job. At least this will be a very long take which we are looking at right now. We do have a AI model in our company which we are training, but that model is far away from taking over our jobs. The challenges we face is not always one-on-one plain yes or no answers. They have a lot of things which you have to look into. It's not just plain simple that AI can give you a simple straight answer. Does a higher rank on a ship preferred on no. Uh, it's I don't think higher rank on a ship or an I certificate figure. It's basically your knowledge that matters. Basically, Higher rank on ship, yes, it is little bit preferred. Like as achievement, what positive points I had during my this age was that I worked on bulk carriers and I am handling bulk carriers, so I was able to decode a lot of things pretty easily, which was a challenge for other people. And IC certificate, yes, it does help in recognition. It always help. Uh, you have to have some kind of certification to show up that you have actually trying to get into that role.
I think we'll take more questions
Yeah,
at the end. There will be
yeah,
a separate Q&A session. So Jevons, Nav, Mansa, we will take your questions a little bit later.
yeah.
I know Hoshank needs to leave. He's in a function and he has come in between the function to take this. But thank you so much, Hoshank, for coming in, sharing your views. Really appreciate that. And already 8 months in commercial shipping. I'm hoping you're enjoying it, and I'm hoping you're getting enough to sleep. You have some flexibility, and hopefully, it'll ease out also over a period of time.
Thank you, sir. I'll sleep. I don't promise on that I have enough sleep, but I'm enjoying it. But yes, I'm pretty sure about that. Have a nice day. I have something to catch up to. We'll see you later, sir. All the guys who are out there, I suggest you go for this course, and you will have a lot of exposure, basically what to do and how to get into it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time, Hoshank. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Have a nice day. Bye
Thank you.
bye. Thank you, Krishna sir. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thanks, Sarjan. So, guys, everyone, we heard from Hoshank, and we'll now invite Captain Nilesh to talk about the challenges that companies face when they are hiring or in general in the commercial space, and what the job seekers also face. But before I invite Captain Nilesh, I have a couple of poll questions for you, just for us to check your knowledge on the commercial shipping. Let's see how much you know on that. So we've got two sets of question. You'll have not more than 45 seconds. The timer is running. So read through these two questions now. So the term lay time refers to, that's the first one. And the second is the documents that sets out the term of a charter party before the formal contract is signed is called. What is that called? So you've got another 25 seconds more to answer. So let's have that. Vineet, you may start. You may resume sharing the PPT on. Oh no, sorry. I'll be Captain Nilesh. Captain Nilesh, if you want to share the PPT, you may.
No, Vineet, can you share? Or I thought I'll share, but I think it was
I
better that
will.
yeah.
I will.
Vineet,
Sure.
if you have it, if you can share it, the last one.
Sure, I will do that.
Thanks.
All right, guys. Stopping the question in the next 3 seconds. Very few of you have answered, about just 50%. So, 3, 2, 1. Let's see the results. So what does lay time refer to? Overwhelming favorite is option 2, the time allowed for loading and discharging cargo as under the charter party. And the document that sets out terms of charter party before formal contract is signed is called fixture recap, which is 54%. So I'm assuming, Captain Nilesh, I think most of you have got the answer right, both the questions. And one more question for all of you. And this time, not more than 50 seconds, please. What does lay can period refer to? And the second one, in a voyage charter, if the vessel arrives before the lay days commence, the notice period, it can be tendered immediately, it can be tendered later. So the options are there. Read through it. Let's see if you know these answers. Twenty seconds to go. All right, I'm ending the poll now. 3, 2, 1. Sharing results. Here we have a fight between option B and option C on the lake can. And in the second one, I think most of you got the answer right. But the answer to the first one is option B, which again, most of you got it right. But we have a close competition, a close second, which is option C. So any which ways, just wanted to quickly test your knowledge, check where does it stand, and I'll hand it over to Captain Nilesh now to talk about the challenges which companies face and the challenges which the possible the candidates face. So yeah. Vineet, you may shift the next one. Yeah.
Thanks, Gaurav. Thanks, Vineet. Good to see you, Mr. Krishnan over there. And guys, I think basics of commercial shipping and how the whole ecosystem of commercial shipping is developing across world, specifically Asia, Pacific, Middle East. I think that has been, uh, done pretty well here by Captain Ashok and Mr. Krishnan. What I'm going to do is basically where the commercial, and I'm going to speak from a ship owner's point of view because I'm working for a ship owner who runs a pool of about 150 tankers. These tankers are mostly in clean trade, about LR1, LR2s, Handies, MRs. MR is the biggest pool we have. And the challenges which we are facing with respect to the new talent which is coming in, with the new talent which we are onboarding, is the commercial literacy challenge. ICS has got a fantastic course, uh, but unfortunately, not all of us do that because I think while we are sailing, I also wanted to do that while I was sailing, but I was pretty lazy to do it, not to do it. And of course, it requires a lot of hard work as well. And at times, as seafarers, and I'm talking purely about myself, uh, instant gratification was something which I was looking for. What if I do this course? Will I get a job? I was never thinking about it from a knowledge point of view, and that's where we fail actually. And when you look at commercial literacy, as seafarers, we don't look at market dynamics. I think Captain Ashok also talked about whether the contracts are being sent on board. No, contracts are not being sent on board. But believe me, if you ask the operator, can I have the charter party? Nobody will say no to you. But we do not ask that. So ultimately, we do not have, while since the time we are sailing, we have not read the contracts, which are the backbone of any fixture. We have not read the recaps. We have not read the general terms and conditions, which can help us make the voyage more optimum, make we do not lose so much money because of something which we could have avoided. And of course, we do not see what voyage economics are. I think Captain Ashok also talked about that, as there is a voyage estimate which happens uh, where the chartering team is actually fixing a vessel. They are looking at TCE and whether that TCE is time charter equivalent in voyage charters. In time charters, you have a day hire. Similar to that, in voyage charters, you have something called a time charter equivalent, which is your per day earning of your vessel. Whether it is beating the market scenario, whether we are making so much money or not. These are some things which are not looked upon by seafarers, masters, chief officers. I'm not saying it's their fault, because the fast-paced industry right now, it makes it even more difficult to look at these things. But yes, this is a challenge with respect to when we onboard people. Vineet, can we go to the next slide? Post fixtures, the challenge now, the chartering has fixed something. Post fixtures, we are mostly blinded because we come in where the voyage is actually finished. So we don't, at times, we do not understand what was the discussion which had went on while the voyage was being negotiated, what were the discussions which went on when the voyage was being done. And this is where we come to a place where another challenge we face in post fixtures is you need somebody with that mindset. I think Captain Ashok also mentioned about mindset and how detailed you need to be when you look at post fixtures. And I agree with Hoshank there. It is a lot of sleepless nights when you are a voyage operator, because I think Gaurav mentioned I was heading learning and development with Scorpio for 8 years, and suddenly decided, okay, I am stagnating somewhere. I need to move somewhere else. And interestingly, there was an opportunity to move to the post fixture side in Scorpio itself. And then I realized uh, what big a mindset change it is. But coming from the technical side to here, and of course, learning and development was a very 9 to 5 job for me. I started as a part of my learning. I was an operator with 4 or 5 ships I was given, and the challenge was some vessel is bunkering at 3 o'clock at night in Korea. Another vessel is arriving port somewhere daytime in US. So yes, that is something which needs to be kept in mind, because that will have challenges with communications. As you can see, the communication breakdowns are critical. If you're not top of those things, all communication which is around you, it becomes very difficult. It leads to misinterpretation of clauses, your communication with respect to notices, you know and once you don't do that, uh, you lose a lot of money. So another challenge with respect to commercial shipping, with respect to companies, is we are blindsided a lot, and we need to find our way out of this blindsidedness. AI is something which we are working with right now. We have Microsoft has got a mail maestro, where uh, a program where it will tell you what all mails are addressed to you, what you need to answer. So somebody asked, I think Gaurav, you asked whether the AI will take your job. No, the AI will not take your job, but these are the places when you need to look at AI to enhance your productivity as an organization, as an individual as well. So we are looking at those challenges. I'll talk about technology in the next slide, Vineet. Next one. Yeah, spreadsheets, email dependency, working with 10 systems. These are biggest challenges for shipping companies as well as seafarers as well. Uh, can you have one system looking at all of them? Very easy to say, but if you ask two guys to share their APIs so that one system can talk to another system, might not happen. Can you apply chat? Can you apply bots so that one system, the bot takes reads data from one system and writes into another system? Very easy to say, but very difficult to deploy. So technology is something, with shipping, technology has been, we've been very reluctant to adopt technology. The cost with each technological change is so high that it starts affecting the bottom line of shipping companies. So that is something which is a real big challenge. And in my last slide, when we talk about the kind of competencies you need to build in, this is something which you need to be ready with. We need to be accepting the change. uh, like for email dependency, like I said, we are working on something which is already available, because it is so costly. The mail maestro, the license is about $30 per person per month. If you have a team of 100, just multiply and see what's per year you're going to pay. But that particular software will help you not go through 1,000 mails. Out of those 1,000, probably you need to respond to only 30, and that software will give it to you. So this is something which as a company, we are trying to imbibe the change in mindset of accepting technology. This is something which, as seafarers or applicants, you also should be able to do it. uh Vineet, last one. So yeah, what do you need? I saw a lot of questions whether a third officer can join, whether a cadet can go, whether a pilot can become. So my simple answer is everybody can become a commercial operator. So with the right guidance, with the right training, and of course, if you put in the hard yards, all of you can become commercial operators. All you need is this, and this what is there on the screen is not rocket science, guys. Operational knowledge. Some people with higher ranks would have it would come to them very easily. It doesn't mean that the second mate cannot have the similar knowledge if he puts in the hard yards. Commercial acumen is something which it does not come only by sailing, right? It comes from attending some very nice courses, reading market reports, being curious. The commercial acumen will come by being curious. I think something else which uh, Captain Ashok mentioned was about people skills. Commercial is all about people skills, and he kind of limited it to chartering, but I would go a step ahead and say that negotiation skills are as important in operations and claims as well, because then again you are talking to people, you are trying to put your point of view there, and you are trying to put your point of view by being polite and firm at the same time. That's a skill. That's a huge skill. You cannot sound egoistic. You cannot sound adamant on things. So, and that will come when your commercial acumen is there, your legal understanding is there, your financial understanding is there, and of course, digital literacy is very very important, guys. I I was I, I used to do when I used to do trainings, and in 2012 I was teaching ECDIS in one of the institutes, and the masters who would come to attend this ECDIS course, because it was still not mandatory, would say, ये तो second mate कर लेगा. I don't need to understand this. Second mate will understand ECDIS and do it. And that is the time I used to tell the masters that, Kamsa, I think you should know the ECDIS best, because otherwise it's going to be a big problem. So similarly, digital literacy is something which is very, very important. It comes to youngsters very naturally. It does not come to old timers very easily. So you need to be very open in that space and to accept that the world is changing towards that. So that's it, guys. These were some challenges with the shipping company, and I'm again, like I am again saying, I'm talking from an owner's point of view. I'm talking from my recruitment experience, and my people who have joined us, people who have left us. The reasons are these, because they were not able to adapt to these things when it comes to commercial. So that's it, Captain Gaurav, Captain Vineet, my two bits to these challenges.
Thank you so much, Captain Nilesh, and I think you very rightly, showcased how the companies, what do the companies need essentially. You mentioned that anyone and everyone can become an operator. What do what do candidates look at, or should have the skills to get into this field? So thank you for sharing your thoughts, and we will come back to you as well for, I know there will be a lot of questions which we'll need your inputs on, but before that, let me just ask Dr. Abhay from Gujarat Maritime University to, talk about the availability of courses, the how the demographics is changing in India. What is the ratio of possibly the courses outside India and the students, and how it is in India, and how we partnered GMU and CNB on to provide first of its kind course in the Indian market. So over to you, Dr. Abhay, and thanks for joining in, sir.
Right. Thank you so much for the invite, sir. So I think Krishnan sir was to present as well, right, in this over there.
Yeah, I think he can possibly just share his views on ICS.
So I think sir, Krishnan sir can go first, and then I can step in.
All right. Right, sir. So Krishnan sir, we just probably wanted your thoughts on, when CN Beyond became got the recognized partner status of ICS, and the course, giving an ICS certification. So, your thoughts on, the ICS certification to this course, and how is it panning out? So just your thoughts on that, sir, and then we could have Dr. Abhay talk about GMU as well, sir.
Great. Thank you, Captain. Abhay, sir, good afternoon, Dr. Abhay. Nice to see you again here. So I also saw some questions about ICS. I'll address all of that together. See, one thing we have always realized that any qualification, whether it's a degree or a professional certification like the ICS or CIPS or a chartered accountancy, or even your experience as a master or a chief engineer or any rank up to which you are sailing and then decide to come ashore, is not sacrosanct. It's an entry ticket into the next step, but and we would have seen that enough in terms of it is part of the entry level criteria which an employer is looking at, right, as a minimum qualification. So the ICS is no different, where you pass the exam. So again, of course, it has evolved over a period of time. You've got multiple levels now. You do 2 papers, you get an advanced diploma immediately. So that's from a knowledge point of view. But to become a member, you need to do 7 papers with probably some exemption based on the number of years of experience you already have, or the kind of the educational qualifications which may give you an exemption for a couple of papers. So basically, you need to do 7 papers that you become a member. So the real value, and again, I'm talking from my experience, Captain Gaurav is a member, is in terms of the real value comes in terms of how much active you are in that network. Just having the certificate of MICS or even promoted to a fellow, having an FICS as a post nominal with your name doesn't guarantee anything, right? So even passing the exam doesn't guarantee you a job. What is important is that, and that's where the differentiator of the ICS comes, or any professional qualification, I would say there are a lot of them, right? The ICS is not the only one, depending upon where you want to be, what your goal is in terms of which area of logistics or shipping you want to be. So even within the ICS, there are 12 optional subjects, the specializations which are there, which includes chartering, port and terminal, offshore industry. As we speak, we are creating a syllabus for break bulk and project cargo, which is a very niche segment. We are already late in the game, but then it is in progress, right? So it's about what's happening in the market. So that's one part, because the whole pattern of question is application based on a little bit of theory, but more about how you apply that in your day-to-day job. And the real value comes right from when you're a student, you enroll as a student and then become a member, is how active you are in that network and you derive value from that. So that's where you get connected to 4,000 plus members worldwide. Even while you're a student, you will get connected to the network, whether it's a branch. So that's where, as Captain Gaurav rightly mentioned, we have, apart from the 27 branches worldwide, including, say, 2 in India, which is Mumbai and Chennai. We've got in Dubai. In the region, you've got Singapore, Colombo, and Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and then Africa, 3 branches. This is the closest in this particular region. So RP means a recognized partner. So apart from the branches, ICS has got about 24 of these recognized partners or international teaching centers, where they go through a process of audit and then an accreditation and say that now you are qualified to become our partner to support the educational and other courses to be delivered in that particular region. So this was something which was done this year. So we're very glad that, and that has really boosted the activities to start with in Mumbai. Just 2 weeks back, I was there, and then we delivered the first on-site prep session for those who are writing the exam, with the mock test and then the guidance which is there, because this is a different kind of an exam, as compared to what you would have done in your schools and colleges, etc. So I'm really glad that it's not only about expanding the ICS, it is about giving the right kind of guidance to all of you, whether wherever you are, in terms of telling that, is this the right course for you? Just because I'm from ICS, Captain Gaurav is from ICS, we are not going to say that, yes, this is the only one. Depending upon your goal, is this the right course for you? If yes, then what subjects should you do? Should you do all together? Should you just do two at this time? That's the kind of guidance which a recognized partner is signed up to do. So it's a great opportunity. I'm sure that there's more activity which is coming up, and along with TNBeyond's partnership with GMU, I think the whole the way the collaboration is happening, I think there's maximization of value which is going to come to anybody who is going to take these courses. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your thoughts, the way you described ICET, the way the evolution is, number of members, how you can derive maximum benefits from it. So thank you so much for it. And let's hear from Captain Dr. Abhay now. Over to you, sir.
Right. Thank you so much, sir. Great to listen to all the experts throughout, and it's always a pleasure to listen to Krishnan sir and his thought process. Anyways, I'll just take 2 minutes. I'll not make it very long thing. I'll just highlight a bit on the question that Captain Gaurav portrayed. Yeah. So here I'll just give you a brief idea about the industry gap, and how do we aim to bridge, and what is the situation of the education system in the country as of now. So right now, we had this discussion earlier as well. You have 90% of the education institution in the country, and who are offering courses in maritime, but primarily focusing on the technical aspect. There are very little concentration on the commercial ideology. And you have all studied, or many of you have studied the engineering side of it. I'm sure there are a lot of captains and seafarers who are coming and joining this course and showing an interest in entering into a commercial. And as you are all confused what to do and how to go about it. So that is the problem associated with the lack of institutions which are available in the country. So we did actually conduct a study before we initiated Gujarat Maritime University, that what is the gap? What is basically the gap, job gap, opportunity gap when we talk about technical courses, and the other side, the commercial ones. So the study indicated that you have 90% institutions providing technical aspect, and the job in the market are on the ratio of 60-40. And to cover the 40% of the non-commercial, institutions are not there. So there is lack of manpower outside in the industry. Hence, we had the recruiter from Scorpio earlier indicating that they are facing challenges in getting the quality and good candidates in terms of in shipping particularly. So that's why the entire idea of having the Gujarat Maritime University was thought of. And this university is primarily run by GMB. Gujarat Maritime Board is the prime pusher and the formulator of this institution. And with Gujarat Maritime Board's push, the university have been moving, and we have been doing quite a lot of activities with different partners. Definitely CNBeyond is one of our closest partners, but many more. We have association with IGPNI, we have association with IFSCA here. We have very close tie-ups with CMS-CGM, Merck's, APMT. And with APMT and Merck's training, actually, we have also formulated a virtual reality classroom, and we are running a VR training, virtual reality training in association with Merck's training as well. So there are a lot of commercial activities which are happening, and so that we have been doing a lot of associated works with IIT. Actually, we have been associated with IIT Madras as well. You have a MBA digital shipping course of IIT Madras right now going on, which we also push. I teach in that course. Many of our other faculties also do deliberate in those kind of courses. Anyways, we have been assisting our students with placements and internships. Although most of our students that we have, we don't get a lot of captains and seafarers taking our course. Although we offer an MBA and LLM and MBA, all the captains are actually eligible to do the MBA course. But we don't do get much of the students in that from the industry. Most of the people which are coming to us are students who have just completed graduation, so largely freshers. But still, we are able to get them good offers, good, decent packages, not excellent packages, but decent packages. Obviously, if somebody comes from the industry and does the course, he will get a much, much better program. But again, MBA is a 2 years course. It's a long duration course. And we also offer an LLM. And for LLM, if you want to do an LLM in India, you have to have an LLB degree. So for that, many of the seafarers don't have the LLB degree. Hence, they are not able to go with the maritime law course. But we do had a lot of captains who first complete their LLB and then specifically they join the LLM course. We had actually Captain Naveen Malik, who is there in Merck's, now I think shifted to Synergy. We had one chief engineer, CV Balaji. So we have had actually one or two captains in each of the batches since last 5-6 years in law as well. Yeah, so placements and all also the data you can see here. For MBA, we have excellent placement, almost close to 100% placements every year. For law, actually, for law, this placement is actually quite high because in the country, other than 2-3 national law universities on the top, nobody provides placement for law. And particularly for LLM course, nobody in the country provides placement. So this is fairly still quite good. Actually, this data indicates the lack of availability of sources in the country because whoever does this course has a very, very high chance of getting and securing an opportunity either at one place or the other. So there are a lot of industry visits that we have here at the university. And with a lot of tie-ups and associations, we have been able to get them placed. And this particular course, if I talk about, is a short term course. Since at GMU, we don't have or we don't offer a short term regular course like what we are doing here with C and Beyond. We actually take a full, support of C and Beyond and actually ensuring that even the short-term courses or engagement in the short-term courses are somewhat doable so that in a shorter duration of time, in case, so for those who want to actually achieve a good quality education in a very brief period for them also, or who do not have the time to basically do the full-time courses, they also have an option to complete the required education and required literacy criteria, which are needed by the industry within a very limited and short period of time. So that have been the main reason behind this particular initiative, which we have been doing with C and Beyond, and to push for actually having the purpose of the Maritime University have never been profit making. The purpose of the Gujarat Maritime University has always been, the thought process has always been to bridge the gap between the industry and academia and to provide commercial maritime manpower in the industry. So that have been the motive and that has been the goal. And being from the government side, we do not expect any profit or anything out of this particular course as well. So that is just a brief, short introduction about the course and the institutions which are involved. So thank you so much, Captain Gaurav. I'll leave it to you. Thank you so much. And I'll be happy to address any questions they come.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for the overview of GMU, the reason why you collaborated, giving an overview of the market and as to why there's a dearth of relevant courses, non-technical courses in the industry, and how this collaboration came through. So thank you so much for that. So we'll probably hear from two alums. One is Nagesh, who's working in GeoServe in a commercial position, and one Captain Praveen, who also completed the commercial shipping course. So maybe if we have Captain Praveen share his journey of how he joined the course and if you benefited from the course, and then Nagesh coming in, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the nuances of the course, the duration, the price, the everything. So first, Captain Praveen, welcome and over to you.
Hi, sir. Hi, sir. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to all. Hi, sir. Hi, Krishnan, sir. Hi, Nilesh, sir. I hope you guys are doing good. Sir, I'm Captain Praveen Raj, Master Mariner on oil chemical tankers. I have a sea time of 21 years at sea. I did advanced commercial course in March 2025. Actually, I called up Gaurav sir as soon as I signed off in February. I called him asking him about commercial shipping, what to do. So he suggested to go through this course, and he suggested all the topics which will be covered. Initially, I don't know what to do because I have very limited knowledge of commercial shipping. I don't have complete understanding of how commercial shipping works. So when I went through the course curriculum, when I was seeing the going through the how it was working, I was very much the professor, the faculties they had, so it was all top leaders. Everybody are very top leaders of their own subjects on their own field. So it was like a very great understanding, great. I was able to. It was eye opening basically. It was the course is for the people who are not only for the shippies who wants to shift ashore. It was for the all people who want to understand commercial shipping, who can shift from other fields to know what in the field, how to go. So they explained, like Captain Ashok, he was Ashok Sharma. He was working in brokerage. He was leading how to. He was taking each and every subject one by one, explaining all the topics elaborately, explaining things. Every doubts were cleared. Same Krishnan sir, who explaining all the fields. Nilesh sir. So I cannot tell you how good the course was. There is no during that time I was sure there is no course who can completely cover the whole subject in a short period with so much of accuracy. So I was intended to shift ashore, but then I said, okay, I complete my sailing and then I shift ashore. So I'm already doing my ICS exams. I have advanced diploma certification from ICS, and I'm planning to complete complete my PQE and get my MICS from ICS. From my side, and one more thing I want to highlight where Captain Nilesh was telling, like he said, we are not questioning the charters or owners about the charter parties. We don't get anything from charter owners regarding, as Captain Ashok was saying. So we get only the lake and float ports, discharge ports, so short messages or voyage orders. When I asked my owners about the charter parties, about the terms, and just for my knowledge, they said it's confidential. We cannot. Yeah, this was few months back. Yeah, They said it's confidential, we cannot share it. So this is the case for the sailing staff, as a master or mariner or anybody in a junior rank. We don't get to see the other side of the field, which is operating the complete shipping, which is controlling the commercial part, and which is controlling the whole industry, the market. We are not aware of it. We are just sailing, working, operations, technical, and it's all very simple for us. But it's a whole industry hidden, which is controlling everything, which I want to understand. So that is why I took this courses. I did the advanced course only, and it was, as I said, after completing the course, the way I see the each and every operation, each and every message I get from charter, it was so when they say slow down, go on economical speed, then I understand why they say. They ask me, go reach as soon as possible, then I understand why they say that. So it also for the seafarers who like to continue sailing but still wants to understand the industry, this course is also for you. That is what I went through when I went through the course. That is how I understood the importance of these terms and topics. How well it helps you understand how good it is to know, to have the full view of the industry, what is going. So that is all from my side. And again, thank you very much, Captain Kawal, Krishnan sir. They are all my mentors. They were there when I needed, when I had a doubt, when I was lost. They were there guiding me each and every step, explaining me how to go about it, what to do about it, where to look for it, where to look for. So it was excellent, sir. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Captain Praveen, for sharing your journey. And honestly, if if anyone looks for the right guidance, I think I'm sure people would get that sooner or later, or more sooner. And I think kudos to you also, because you were there for almost every networking event which was happening either in India or outside India. So which takes fair amount of dedication, fair amount of investment in time, effort, so which you did. And so thanks for sharing your journey. It was really helpful. And let's hear from Nagesh now. Nagesh was sailing as a third officer before he shifted. He did the course, and then he's now working on the operations department in GeoServe. Nagesh, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Good day. Good day, everyone.
Yeah.
Yes, I was one fine day, I was on vacation coming from high seas, and on the LinkedIn, I saw regarding the commercial shipping course, and I thought of giving a try. Of course, I always wanted to join commercial department in shipping to see the finance part of it and where the money goes, how the money is involved, and how it is important to take care of the interests, commercial interests. So as I enrolled the course, and I have completed both the course, and as I started, it started like went on interesting. We got an opportunity to have an office visit, and we also got like a simulation type in Gujarat Maritime University, where just like the maritime simulator, we were also being like, some are owners, some are charters, some are brokers, and we started working out on that. And currently I work in the ops department, as sir mentioned, and the chapters, the syllabus is helping me a lot. At least if anybody says something, I have some idea of it. If I don't have full, yes, I have some idea of it, and I can go ahead with that knowledge and whatever the things I'm looking after. And this course has helped me. I suggest if somebody who wants to get into the commercial, this will be an eye opener. And moreover, you will meet a lot of people who can guide you in a way. And also, I was introduced to Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers from this platform. A lot of the connections. Things are going ahead. I'm happy. Also, to share that with you all.
Thanks, Nagesh. Thanks. Quite a journey that you had before you got into the company, and you were persistent. You were at it every time, at short notices, preparing for the interviews. So kudos to you for taking that challenge, for honestly, reading a lot. So thanks for sharing your journey, and
I'm grateful for the opportunities. That's what I can say.
right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And
Thanks.
all the best to everyone who are going ahead. All the best to you all.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you. Right. So thanks. We'll have Captain Vineet now talk about the course in terms of the pedagogy, the syllabus, the faculty, the number of hours, and then we'll open it up for Q&A. So over to you, Captain Vineet.
Hi, good afternoon all again. So just a brief introduction again to remind you that C and Beyond has other services also, where we conduct webinars to introduce various venues for seafarers as well as non-mariners who want to switch from say a sailing job to a shore job. We can help you out with the career counseling. So this webinar does not end here. Even after the webinar, you can connect with us. We can clear your doubts, whether you want to join the commercial course or whether you're interested in some other certification, some other field. We can help you out. We also have a strong recruitment division, which is collaborating with almost 200 plus companies and helping the people to join various roles in shore jobs. And then we also provide upgrading your CVs. Tailor-made to specific requirements for when you're applying for a shore job as well as your LinkedIn profile. And there are various books even for ICS exams that we can help you out with. So this is in brief how we can help you out. And now coming to the course, a lot of questions were there. So there are two courses which will be run back to back. So we'll start with the Applied Commercial Shipping for Professionals, which is a kind of foundation course where different aspects of commercial shipping, as Captain Ashok and other speakers have been pointing out, commercial shipping is not only about chartering, it's not only about brokering, but there are other phases also involved. So this is a 6-week journey. The classes will be conducted online. It will be conducted on Saturdays and Sundays. And the recordings will always be available for you to access and revert back the topics to brush up on your knowledge. The topics that will be covered by various industry leaders will involve chartering, brokering, documentation related to the operations, as well as I think Captain Ashok pointed out about the ship sale and purchase, recycling, the insurance part. Then you have port agencies, you have vessel freight forwarding services. So these various aspects, not limited to chartering and brokering, we will be covering throughout this journey of 6 weeks. We will touch upon various subjects so that when you think about, you'll have a broader view what commercial shipping, what various roles you can get into. It should not be specifically defined by only 1 or 2 roles, but you will have a broader view, and then you can decide what is the role that suits you, where you want to get into. That's the purpose of the applied foundation course. Once we have completed this foundation course, it will be you will have a office visit to one of the chartering or say ship owning companies where you will actually visualize, you will be witnessing the people in action, how a commercial manager or how a vessel operator is dealing with day-to-day mails, what kind of problems they are facing, You will have one-on-one sessions with them where they will share their everyday life with you. That will be helpful to decide whether you want to get into this particular life or no. Because in history, I would be very upfront with you. There are people who said maybe this is very stressful, or maybe like Hoshank said, I cannot guarantee about the very good night's sleep. So it will at least let you take a well-informed decision, as Gaurav is already saying that that's our purpose, to let you know, take the decision, and then move on with it. So that's how the applied commercial shipping course will be there. And then after that, we'll have a much detailed version, advanced commercial shipping course. This course is tailored to people who may be already shifted or working in some kind of shore responsibilities, or senior members, senior management level people who think they have that particular knowledge for commercial shipping, and then they can continue with the advanced commercial shipping course. This course will be run for 3 weeks. That's the online class module, and then it will be followed by a 2.5 to 3 day session, which is normally carried out in GMU in within the university campus, where you will have a live session and role play exercises where some of the candidates will be, say, playing a role of a broker, some of them will be playing the role of a ship owner. And the purpose of the exercise is that you have to fix a vessel, and the number of cargoes, the number of vessels may not be apt for everybody to be able to fix. And that's how you get the understanding of how stressful, or what is expected out of you. So these are the two courses. I will just let you know that to join the advanced course directly, we'll have a screening test. So it's an online test that you need to give, and there is a passing percentage. So it is not open for all to directly jump to advanced commercial course, and it is designed in such a way. And Captain Nilesh is there, because when you are after passing this advanced commercial shipping course, and when you are put across to the recruiters, uh, the kind of knowledge that is expected out of you is for applied as well as advanced commercial course. So the topics that are covered in applied commercial course are very relevant, because it's a longer course. It gives you a much better understanding of nuances involved in various aspects of commercial shipping. And that's why we recommend that, as Captain Nilesh said, you have to focus on learning. You don't say that I need a job, that's why I'm doing this course. That's the second part. But if you have the knowledge, you will be confident, and then you will be automatically aiming for better prospects. So these are the two courses that we'll be doing, and the price which is there on your screen, we'll be sharing this in the chat box also. So for the applied commercial shipping course, it's priced at 49,999, and the advanced course is priced at 64,999 rupees. Uh, the For people who are booking both the courses, there will be a 15% discount on the advanced course. And after this webinar, if you are booking for the next 5 days, you will be getting a 10% discount. And in case of any doubts, any problems, or even after this webinar, we'll have a Q&A session. We'll be sharing the numbers in the chat box, where you can call us, you can discuss your problems, better understand the course material, the course objectives, and once you're satisfied, then you can please enroll in the course. That's about the course for now. Gaurav, I think it's up to you.
Thank you. Thanks, Vineet, for telling about the course in fair amount of detail. Let's see. Let me take a quick poll in terms of how many of you seem to be interested in the course. Yes, you need some information. You're not sure. and no. So after this poll, we will take the Q&As which are in the chat window. You have any question, you may write it in the chat and we will take it from there. I will direct the questions to Captain Nilesh, Krishnan sir, or Dr. Abhay as and when relevant. So I'm just going up the chat window and looking for the questions now. One very, I think it's a good question, and I'll probably ask this to Captain Nilesh. But is by any way commercial department, if I may call it, taking care of the rest hours of the crew?
Okay. So I will not give you a political answer. I will give you a straight answer. And so rest hours, who should take care of the rest hours to begin with? Who asked this question? Can that gentleman that gentleman can answer? I mean,
it's my
who
name,
who should take care of the rest hours? I know it's a very controversial one. Management. Why management, Captain Atul?
Because they directly take this crew into.
Okay, don't get me wrong, huh? Don't get me wrong here. I am just trying to be the devil's advocate. I'm just trying to understand why should the management take and why shouldn't the person itself? It is like it is equivalent to saying that the police should take care of you not wearing helmet, but you are okay. You should be okay not wearing helmet and driving, but the police should take care of it. I know it's controversial, but the challenge here is, guys, and I don't know whether I can. So there's a chain involved in a vessel is when is vessel is getting fixed. I mean, in a very simple term, there is one charterer, there is one ship owner. Sometimes there is a chain of charterers. There are maybe 10 guys. So uh, number entity A has a cargo, then entity B takes it from that, entity C, entities. So there is a chain of charters in place. Now, if the owner puts the vessel off because of rest hours, let's say 12 hours rest, 8 hours rest, that is the time the immediate charter is not making money. But the charter who's in the end of the chain, which is the 10th charterer over there, that guy will say, why should I be paying for this? I had a contract with somebody else. So this kind of challenge will always come in. So you might not have a commercial entity taking care of rest hours. It is yours. It is the technical entities, what do you call that, duty to take care of rest hours. It is the individual's duty to take care of the rest hours. And if you are not thinking of taking care of your rest hours, or if the technical entity is not taking care of its own people's rest hours, then you cannot expect somebody else to do that for you, right? So I know it's controversial, but that's the reality, guys.
So basically, it's the individual, or they're essentially the bosses who needs to ensure the rest hours are taken care of.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks. Thanks for that answer. I know I'd put you on a spot, but sorry about that. So then I'm moving to a question which is being asked by people from different background. There's a question by a person who's an engine cadet. There's a person who is a ship supplier. Then there are a person who's a second officer, a master. 4 different questions have been asked, and they are asking how can they get into commercial shipping. It's essentially the summary is that. And here, if I may ask Krishnan sir to come in, he's a non-mariner himself. and he's been into commercial shipping for a long time. So, sir, if you could advise on different from people from different backgrounds, how could they enter into commercial shipping?
Thank you. Yeah, very pertinent question. I'll give you a background. As Captain mentioned, I'm not sailed, but I've invested a lot of time on board ships as a boarding officer when I was with Bharat Petroleum, starting from Kandla, then with Shell, then switched over to an owner's side. It's earlier 15 years back, handling commercial for an owner on the chemical tanker side. And what has helped me in that journey, and this was all about personal risk management, which all of us do in various levels, and by additional qualification and certification, whether it is through CN Beyond or ICS or GMU or any other course which you intend to do, ultimately you are looking at that part of your life, in terms of the personal risk management, enhancing your career. So in the process, I've been mentoring a lot of students where I teach in colleges, as well as seafarers who have already returned or intend to return. And this ranges right from not just those who are with a master's ticket or chief engineer's ticket, but those who have even just started sailing. Due to various reasons, they want to get back to a shore job, whether it is just after 12 months, or I had somebody just 2 months back contacting me. They're 6 months into sailing, and then he said, I don't think this is my cup of tea and I want to quit. What would be my options? All right. I would say the first thing is your intent. It is good to have, from risk management point of view, always say that you should have your plan B. But when it comes to taking a career decision, especially if you have been at sea for 10 plus years, 15 plus 20 years, and then say that, yes, I've decided, please do not keep going back to sea as an option, right? For multiple reasons. One is because sometimes we say in business, you shouldn't burn your bridges, but certain things is your intent. If your intent is very strong, the actions which you take, the follow which you take in terms of ensuring that you get your goal is much stronger, right? Secondly, you go to an employer, you go to an interview where you say that, yes, I'm still continuing sailing, I'm thinking of quitting after 2 months, etc. You're actually watering down your chances of being shortlisted. I sit in interview boards, and I'm telling you a real practical aspect, right? So your availability is extremely important, especially in the Middle East market, which is very peculiar, where your chances of hire is the best only when you are physically present in the country. It doesn't work by just sending a CV across or attending a video call. If you are here in the country, you get into an interview, you get a meeting, you work your way through, and that it improves your chances, right? So the second aspect is that, the shipping world being so wide, if you include logistics, as I mentioned about container shipping, broader supply chain, it is so vast that it's very easy to get lost in one particular stream, and then probably after a couple of years realize that this was not your cup of tea, whether it was chartering or broking or into trading. So therefore it is extremely important today. Of course, there's so much of information overload is there. So therefore, reach out to mentor. There are many of us. We are eager to help all of you in terms of ensuring that you get the right guidance, therefore you land up in even before in getting into a particular job. Ensure that you research well in terms of what are the various roles. Look at companies, look at their job description, look at their websites, talk to people. So networking is extremely important, right? In terms of finding out. And a charterer's role in a owner's house is different from a charterer's role in a trader's house versus or an chartering ops in a broker's house, right? The job title may be the same, but it entails different kind of responsibilities, different kind of skill sets which are there. So do enough research, but the moment you are deciding, then go full steam in terms of ensuring that you get qualified with the adequate knowledge. You have the right kind of certifications, which will help you to get that foot in the door, the right kind of networks, and never stop asking. Do not stop asking. If you want something, you have to ask. You may think that, yes, you may be disturbing the other person. I get so many requests over LinkedIn every day, and I ensure that I respond to each one of them. It may not happen with everybody, right? You may not get that from everybody, but unless you ask, you're not going to get it. I'll stop here for a minute. Thank you.
No, absolutely, sir. I think very rightly said one point that, the intent, right? How do you show to your prospective employer that you are interested, right? And if you say that, I will continue sailing, or, you plan to go back after a month, I mean, your skin in the game, your intent doesn't come through. So that is something which we have to ensure and work towards it. And when you upskill, that intent comes through, the knowledge comes through, and that's how you get extra points from another person who's also interviewed, which enhances your chances at the end of the day for you to get into a field of your choice. Right. Let me look for other questions. So I'm not taking separate questions. There have been a few questions which are very, very specific for a person. And we can take it later on one-to-one. I wouldn't want to, spend time of everyone about talking about specific questions. So this is a couple of questions on how can this course help you. So I'm sure Captain Vineet pointed out, but let me just reiterate that what we do in this course is we at least get you an audience with the possible recruiters. So people from different companies, and we promise that we get you at least 5 companies to listen to you at the end of the advanced course. So it's for you to impress these companies. We give you the knowledge. We tell you how do you talk. So that audience is what we ensure. We do not guarantee an employment, but if you do the right things, I'm sure you will be able to get placed. You'll be able to build your network. Not just with the instructors who are there. Network not just with the with the faculty, but also the students, your own cohort, and which is essentially what will take you places over a period of time. There's a question from Pranil: is ICS course better or MLA college course in sustainable better? First of all, ICS is a qualification, and that's something which we all need to understand. It's a qualification which is provided to you. And the ICS is more into commercial, MLA is into sustainable. You cannot be comparing these two things, but just I wanted to clarify this, Pranil. Is there a maximum age for ICS exam, Krishnan sir?
No, we had a student in Chennai last year who topped in one of the subjects there, who was 61-year-old.
Wow. Nice. We have a question from Captain Sachin: as master, can we do LLM? I think Dr. Abhay answered it. In India, you have to have a LLB before doing LLM. But if you opt for a qualification from UK, through your master's license itself, you could do an LLM. It'll be about 1.5 years of course. Bharat and Mohammed Solat, I did not understand the comment which you have. I'm not sure whether that was a question or a comment, but I did not understand that. Same Mansab, you're a seafarer from UK and don't hold graduation because it was not needed. If you want to study higher, there are certain colleges which accept the COC of a master mariner, basis which you can directly go for a post graduation. So connect with us. We can tell you how do you directly opt for a postgrad degree with your master's COC. That's something which we can advise. Online MBA, Gaurav. There's a question from Gaurav. We can help you with options with the online MBA. Tarun, if you're on board, can you do MBA? You can definitely do MBA. You can also take this course because we also provide the recordings of this course. So if you are missing a lecture, you can always take another. You can always see the recorded lecture as well. Captain Sachin, as I said, ICS is not a course, ICS is a qualification. So the examinations happen twice a year in May and November, and you can take these examinations after you do the preparation. So it depends on you how much time you have to prepare. You can prepare, you can pass ICS qualification in 1 attempt, in 2 attempts, in 3 attempts. It depends on you, but maximum is for 5 years you need to clear them. Pranil, I've answered your question, I assume. If not, you may speak up. All right, Aman, where to look for jobs? I think I've explained to you about how this course could help you with the job. Moses, after completion of PQE course, what available courses can one take further? Krishnan sir, would you want to talk about this?
Sorry, what was the exact question after PQE? I didn't get the full thing.
What available courses can one undertake further?
After PQE?
What courses? What are the available courses can one undertake further? I think you can take any. I mean, okay, I'll leave it to you, sir.
Right. So normally, one of the requirement to become a member of the institute is to pass the PQE. It's the professional qualifying exam and a minimum of 1 year work experience. So that itself sets a criteria that this is about enhancing your career once you have started working. So so you become a member. You may pass the PQE even when you're a student. We've got university students who are passing all the 7 papers, right, with the right preparation and dedication. However, once you pass the PQE, it is to ensure that you get a better grounding in whatever job you are doing. So normally the subjects which you choose, again, we help in choosing the right subjects, is to ensure that your current job is being enhanced, or you have taken subjects for a potential future role. For example, we have people who do dry cargo chartering where they're currently in an agency job with the pure intent that they want to move to chartering or broking in the dry cargo sector. So the choosing that subject enhances your opportunity to at least get an entry-level job into that particular subject. So there is no real path in terms of telling that after PQE, yes, there is a natural progression in terms of doing another course. There is ICS doesn't have any of that mapping, right? It is up to you. There are people who have done MBAs after that. So it's purely up to you in terms of your career ladder as to where you want to go and how you want to get there. Hope that answers.
Right, sir. No, it does. Thank you. I don't see any other question over here, which is left unanswered.
I saw some question on AI right at the beginning.
Yes, there was. Love to have your take, sir. Love to have your take on that.
Yeah, this is much talked topic now, sometimes overused, abused to some extent. As I mentioned, I was at this captain's table event yesterday, and 5 out of the 6 innovation which were showcased was AI based, right? But very interesting ones in terms of how it is being leveraged. So the short answer to this is that AI cannot replace what humans do, our analytic ability, the decision-making capability. Whatever products which I use today or I've seen, even what was showcased yesterday in innovation, there is a human intervention which is required. However, I use AI a lot in terms of whether it is for a routine job which I'm doing at the office or preparing for a course materials, etc. So it's it's a matter of time that we will start talking about AI the way we have stopped talking about, oh, are you using a laptop? Are you using a computer? Or are you using Excel or Word, right? It's a tool, just like any other tool, but the extent of the implication which it is bringing about in everybody's life is tremendous. I have so many people who just close their eyes and say that, yeah, this is going to go away. No, it is not going to go away. One of the criteria, again, I'm talking from a recruiter's point of view, is that we are assessing candidates on their AI literacy, because one of the main criteria which we look for apart from communication is your learning ability. So whatever job you're looking for, whatever field you are looking to be in, you have to demonstrate your capability of continuous learning. It is no longer an option. Wherever you are, once you are on the job, looking for new business, whatever it is, continuous learning is no longer an option. So I would say that AI is just another one of them. As much as you know about what is happening in that field, how relevant are some of these tools? Do you know about the relevant tools which are available for that particular job which you're looking for? Have you looked at getting trained in some of those aspects? Because today it's about even creating your own AI tools. It has come to that. It's not about using an AI tool which is available. It is about creating your own tools. So that's my take on AI. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Captain Nilesh, your take?
Yeah, I think exactly what Mr. Krishnan said. They are things which will help you. I mean, you will still need human intelligence. The networking which Ashok was talking, you need people to talk to you. AI will not talk for you. You need to sit with them. You need to negotiate. You need to go to a bar and have a drink with people. AI will not do that for you. And it's all people connect here in this space. So yeah, it is an enabler. I agree, and that's where it will be. But you will need to understand it's an enabler and be proficient with that. If you're not proficient, then you will be the one who left out. I think that's a good analogy which Mr. Krishnan said. We don't talk about laptops and words and excels anymore. But if you don't know laptops, excel and word, you are left out. Something like that.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
Let me just add one more thing. Please research enough in terms of how you can leverage AI for your career advancement or getting a job. Yeah, I'll just give that clue. Certain things, if you research, if you want to know more, get in touch, and you should start using that. Could be a good starting point in terms of how to use AI to find the right course, the right program, the right kind of companies, even the network. Thank you.
Absolutely. I think it can help a lot. Thank you. You've got Rashel's question is asking about Lloyd's Maritime Institute Advanced Diploma course. So Rachel, I think we'll not be able to comment on that course, but how do you evaluate a course? I think I'll give you a couple of tips on basis which you will evaluate. Check whether the courses, whichever you are evaluating, you are able to build a network in the sense with your cohort, with your batchmates. How can you build that? Number one. Number two, are you having live classes? Can you interact with the people who are teaching you? How are your questions being answered? Check with that. Third is, are you getting, what kind of material are you getting? Would that material be with you for how long? And that's the third way of evaluating. Fourth is, can they provide you, and which is probably one of the key reasons why you enroll for a course, recruitment. So how can it help you in the placement as well? So evaluate. I think it's best for you. Create an Excel, evaluate various courses on these parameters, and I think you should get the answer which one is most relevant for you. It's not about good or bad. It's which one is more relevant for you. Captain Atul. So Captain Atul has passed peak. He gave a couple of exams 5 years back for ICS. Would he need to restart?
So all the papers were passed. Was that the question?
No, he gave two, but he would like to complete the PQE. So would he get the credit of the two papers which he gave 5 years back?
Well, the general rule is that it has to be done within 5 years, but always there is an appeal which can be done, stating the circumstances, and there's always a consideration which is done in favor of the applicant. So write directly to the head office, to education, or to membership, copy membership. And depending upon where you're based, if you're based in India, please copy the Mumbai or Chennai branch, or even Captain Gaurav, C and Beyond can help there, being a recognized partner. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Thank you so much. As you had said before, always try, ask, that's the key thing. Great. And I guess that's pretty much it in terms of the questions which we were there. And before we finish, we've got Captain Mitesh as well, who is working with Captain Nilesh in Scorpio. Captain Mitesh went through our course. He did both the courses, and then he joined Scorpio. He's here after completing his MBA class. So I mean, we can understand in commercial role, you are already on the weekdays you're working, and the weekends also you don't have much of a break. But good to see you, Mitesh. And if you could, take us through your journey, how has it been during the course, after the course, that'll be great.
Good evening, everyone. And good day to everyone who is in a different time zone. Thank you for having me here. This is Captain Mitesh Lama. Till last year October, I was still sailing, and I was looking for some course which gives me an exposure and to the commercial shipping. And I did course somewhere in this year beginning, somewhere in Jan. I did introduction course, and then later on I did the advanced course. I had a very good interaction with all the faculty members. The course was very interactive. I think everything works out for me that time, and I had a very good exposure with terms of studies. The flexibility of the course is very much, favorable for the seafarers, and the mentorship, especially Captain Gaurav, what he is always approachable and reachable. He had been very helpful with all the questions I have been asking, that time. And eventually, yes, after the completion of course, I have started my journey in Scorpio Group as a voyage manager. I'm still working almost like around 5 months, about to complete in a short time. And Captain Nilesh, we have been meeting every day, so he has been always guiding us on due course of time. It has been a pleasant journey. Yes, the work-wise it is very tight, but then it is very enjoyable, I would say. And yes, people can, of course, opt for it, but do not think it will be a easy piece of cake. But this journey has been very eventful and very enduring. I think people here are very helpful. All the people who are mentors, especially Krishnan sir and Captain, a lot of captains who are teaching us as a faculty, they are very experienced in terms of that thing which we did in the theory class is helping me now as a practical execution. When we are operating day by day, we are operating as a ship owners. We are working in a commercial shipping. So it is kind of very much practical, which we were learning at that time in theory. That is kind of very, very helpful. So yeah, still learning and growing, sir. Thank you for having me here. I really could have utilized more time, but then I have a class at 1700 again with it's going very tight. I had a class 9 to 12 and then 1 to 4:30, something like that. Then again, I have a class at 5 o'clock. So thank you for everyone. Captain Gaurana, Krishnan sir, they have been very helpful to us. They have been a great mentor and always approachable. Like Krishnan sir told, do not hesitate to ask question. Do not hesitate to reach out. That's what I felt, that reaching out was easy rather than holding yourself back, to hesitation. So we as a seafarer, we have to grow on this part. Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you, Mitesh. Sharing your journey, and you're the living example of what Krishnan sir mentioned. Continuously learning something or the other, and I'm sure we grow with that. So very inspiring journey. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. Right, guys, I think that's pretty much it. 2.5 hours. We still have 40 people here. So thank you for your time. Before I finish, let me just take a feedback on the webinar. Do let us know how you felt, and also where we could improve upon. Is there something which we missed, which we should have been talking? Is there something which we overdid? Whatever it is, the idea of the feedback is to see how and where we could make us better, where we could improve. So that'll really be helpful for having your views, please. And I would in fact invite people who probably wanted more or less to speak up as well, so that we'll know where to improve as well. I guess we'll just take the last 5 seconds before we close this poll. Right, guys. Ending the poll and sharing the results as well. While you guys go through the result, let me thank our panelists first, Captain Nilesh and Krishnan sir, for sharing their Saturday afternoon with us, all of us. Thank you so much for your time. A couple of panelists have already left. Dr. Abhay, Captain Ashok has already left, and most of all to all the participants over here. Who've taken out time to listen to us, investing in themselves. And then to my colleagues, Captain Vineet, Riti, Smita, Disha, who've been with us in the webinar and supporting all of us. So thank you all for your time. Thank you so much.